Hello and welcome back to the channel. After having time to digest all the information provided by Moto Guzzi, I wanted to provide a more detailed list and also give my own opinion to discuss, as I am left feeling that Moto Guzzi missed an opportunity here, but more on that later. In no particular order, here are all the specifications I gathered so far. Number 1. We are dealing once again with a V-twin engine design, albeit liquid-cooled, double overhead cam in the 90-degree configuration. Displacement of the motor comes in at 1042 cc's. The physical size of the motor is said to be smaller than the V85, and I am sure that has something to do with the liquid cooling versus the air-cooled nature of the V85. Horsepower was announced at 115 and torque at 77 foot-pounds of torque, with 90% available at 3500 RPM all the way to its claimed 9500 RPM redline. Once again, I'm going to look at the V85 engine here. If you look at the numbers of the V85, you have similar claims that 90% of the V85's torque is also available at 3500 RPM all the way to its 8000 RPM redline. And obviously, after looking at that, it becomes obvious how apparently Moto Guzzi strive to provide a similar engine characteristic to that of the V85. Number 4. Lubrication is a wet sump design. The clutch is also wet and hydraulically actuated. Number 5. The frame Moto Guzzi opted to use is a steel tube frame and a left-sided, single-sided swing arm for a 58.5-inch wheelbase. The driveshaft position is set to be lower to reduce torque transfer to the suspension. Number 6. In the electronics department, Moto Guzzi opted for a 6-axis IMU ride-by-wire and Marelli 11MP ECU that will allow for free engine mappings, 4 levels of traction control, free engine braking levels, cruise control, and cornering aware ABS. Number 7. Riding modes will include Sport, Road, Rain, and Travel. Once again, if I'm looking at the V85, you have the same riding modes, except that the off-road mode was now replaced by Travel. A 5-inch TFT display will be utilized, which is a nice upgrade from the current V85 TFT display. This is a similar step up that Aprilia utilizes on the 660 versus the 1100, and being every brand being part of the Piaggio umbrella, I am sure that is where the similarities come from. Number 8. The Active Aero will be automatic based on speed and riding mode chosen, while said to cut about 22% of air pressure sent to the rider. The windshield, on the other hand, will be manually electronic adjustable. Number 9. No fuel consumption figures were revealed at this time, neither the weight of the bike. The fuel tank will hold 4.6 gallons, somewhat smaller to the 6 gallons of the V85. And last but not least, number 10. There will be 2 trims, a base version and a upscale version. The latter will come with the Öhlins semi-active suspension a quick shifter, heated grips, and Mia, Moto Guzzi's multimedia platform. I have not seen any announcement concerning a update or upgrade on Mia, and to be quite honest, in its current state, the multimedia platform for Moto Guzzi is somewhat useless for me, as it does not include any integration of Apple CarPlay or Android. If you look at BMW or Honda, they are at this point actually integrating that, which makes these multimedia platforms much more useful. A question that I have seen quite frequently being asked in the forums and on YouTube is the lack of luggage options shown on the current bikes at the motorcycle show. From what I have heard so far, Moto Guzzi did say that there will be a luggage option available at launch of the bike, even though there is no mounting options showing at the moment. If I were to guess, I would think that if this is the final form of the bikes that are shown at the moment at the EICMA show, that Moto Guzzi may choose to do something similar that Aprilia has done on the 1100 Tuono, where they basically opted for some sort of soft luggage option that did not require any hard mounting points on the bike. So, what do I think about the bike? Well, let's talk about the upscale version only, as it has all the options that I would be personally looking for, and that makes the bike actually comparable to a lot of offerings out there concerning long distance touring or touring in general. The big elephant in the room is the price that has been estimated so far by the Associated Press between $17,000 and $20,000, which, as I mentioned previously, would put the bike in pretty stiff competition concerning that kind of price point. I also made no secret in my previous video that I would have liked the horsepower and torque numbers to be a little bit higher given the modern design of the engine. By the end of the day, it will probably come down to swing a leg over it and see how it feels, with the reference being the V85, as it is currently my go-to platform when it comes to long distance and distance touring, as well as off-road, obviously, as you guys have seen in my videos. That all said, going back to my initial statement of the video, I think personally Moto Guzzi had a huge opportunity with all that tech and new technology to update the V85. If there is something missing on the V85 at the moment, I think personally a quick shifter would be my number one wish list for the V85, as well as maybe a little bit more horsepower and torque. But again, I may be a little bit biased because I do have the Kawasaki H2 in my stable, and there is a reason I'm calling the bike the Corruptor. But in any case, let me know what you guys think of the bike. Let me know what you guys think about the parallels to the V85. As I have pointed out a couple of times during my specification list, a lot of these specifications are actually quite similar to the V85 concerning engine characteristics and how the engine behaves if you look at the riding modes and whatnot. But again, I personally think there's a big miss here from Moto Guzzi not to update the V85, and I looked what they did, and basically the V85 remains unchanged for 2022 except some special editions and color changes. Once again, let me know what you guys think. Let's talk about it in the comments, and we will see you soon in the next one. Bye.